This is the third and last segment for showing ionic bonds. So just to recap what we did, we defined an ionic bond as something that has transferred valence electrons. So something is going to give and something is going to gain. The first thing we did is we drew the Lewis dot diagrams by looking at the periodic table. We showed the transfer arrow, that's the loopy one in red. We drew our yield arrow, and then we drew our ions. Notice that the first one written is positive, that's your cation, and the second one that's written, Br, that is negative, that's your anion. So I'm going to start using vocab words, cation and anion. Remember, a little trick to remembering that the cation is positive is that the T in cation makes a plus sign. All right, example 2. For example 2, I will write it this way. It's a little different. This is written out in words and not the formula. This lets you see that the second element, your anion, is written with its ending changed to "ide." So oxide is really oxygen. Sulfur becomes sulfide, fluorine, fluoride. So it's still the same element. The IDE just lets you know it went into the compound. All right. So let's go ahead and I'll pause to let you guys fill in some of these on your own. So step 1 is to draw the Lewis dot diagram. So take a moment, and for magnesium oxide, draw the Lewis dot diagram for magnesium, and draw the Lewis dot diagram for oxide. Okay, take a moment. Find them on your table. And draw the correct number of valence electrons. All right, if you found magnesium, it is in group 2. And oxygen is in group 16, so therefore it has 6. Okay. This is a little different than the first example. Magnesium needs to get rid of 2, and oxygen needs to gain 2. Remember, the magic number for stability is 8 valence electrons. So magnesium is going to transfer. This is step 2. Step 2 is to show the transfer. So we're going to show these little arrows. So it doesn't matter, I can draw this one going here, or I could draw this one going here. It doesn't matter. Because in reality, these molecules or these atoms are 3-dimensional. They're not flat on a piece of paper. So I just kind of draw them where it's closest. Let's loop that one around. That's step 2. Step 3 is to draw your yield arrow. It's just that straight arrow that separates the transfer side from the ion side. All right, step 4 is to draw the ions, and remember, we're going to draw them in brackets. We're going to give them a positive or a negative charge. So go ahead, see if you can do that. You're going to have Mg, put it in brackets, and see if you can identify magnesium's correct charge. Its correct charge is 2+. So that makes this our cation. Our next one is oxygen. And we didn't draw any valence electrons around magnesium because they gave them up. However, oxygen now has 8. It's happy. It has achieved stability. That's its whole goal. And it gained 2 negative. So if I were grading this on an assessment, this whole thing is showing the ionic bond. The whole thing is part of the problem. So I'm going to give you 2 to do on your own. And tomorrow when I post the lesson, I will start off by reviewing these 2. And also your attendance for today that goes in your attendance tracker. It's something new I'm trying. I don't know if I'll continue it next week. You guys can give me feedback, via email, whether or not you like the attendance tracker. It's just a way for me to kind of know that, hey, I'm looking at this every day. And also, you can give me feedback in terms of like, this is an appropriate amount of work. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm getting all my stuff done. I appreciate feedback. Okay, so the example 3 that I want you to do on your own, let's do table salt. Sodium chloride. And example 4, let's do calcium sulfide. Okay, so try those 2 on your own. Follow the steps. You all can do Lewis dot diagrams. So at least you can do step 1, and don't be afraid to mess up. This might need some whiteout, or do your work in pencil. Your attendance tracker for today. Attendance. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Write down or take a picture, or find a picture online of what you had for breakfast. Today I had bacon, eggs, and of course, a large cup of coffee. So hang in there. One good thing is you can replay these videos if you need to, and I will start off tomorrow by reviewing examples 3 and 4. Thanks.